Well, hello. Welcome. I'm doing something a little different today. Not because I planned it, but because that's how it worked out. So, I don't normally start my video with a finished painting, but for this one, I realized a little late in the process that my entire first day of painting this one didn't record with any audio. So I don't have that in a very useful form right now. So I'm going to just share the second part, which is day 2. So it's still pretty good, but unfortunately it means skipping ahead. So I hope you'll enjoy it nonetheless, and it'll get you some nice relaxation, and yeah, I hope you'll enjoy. So without further ado, here is the second half of this painting. All right, and I'm back. Let's see how we're doing here. It's a little tacky still. Not too bad though. So probably go kind of gentle with this. Not mess with my textures that I have too much, but the paint should hold up pretty nicely. I'm gonna go back into the clouds a little bit, pop the whites out. Obviously I want to paint my horse. And I'm going to put the water in under his feet. And then I'll probably put in some more kind of highlights and shadows on the grasses, at least the ones that are close. The ones that are further away, I might not do all that much more with them. I think they're looking fairly good as they are. So yeah, I guess I'll just get into it. I'm gonna try and start out with a knife. I may end up brushing some parts of the horse just because I've got some smaller details that I won't really be able to reach with a knife, but I'll give it a good try first. Yeah. So I think I'll start out with this one. Not a huge knife, not a tiny knife. I'm gonna start. I've got some really bright sort of clay orange here. I can make the right color. Maybe even more. Maybe even more cadmium red light, I think. So I used burnt sienna and cad red light so far. I think this cad red light works out really well for these types of colors. Of that, just move off to the side a little bit. That way, if I want to do a color that's sort of in the middle, I've got them kind of close to each other. Probably what I actually want is still in between. Should we try that? Let's also try one. Pretty alizarin heavy. This is going to be pretty intense, but I'm not going to use a lot of it. I'm going to put it in a few choice spots. I'm going to add a little bit of linseed oil into this. I think I'll just help it go on a little bit better. My layer underneath is pretty well set up, so I'm not mixing in too much here. A little bit more orange. Having just a little bit of variety is nice here. A little bit more grass in here, so I'm not going to mix in too much. As I go back over here under his shadow, I've got more. I like kind of separating my days out this way, where I work a lot in one color, or one sort of part of the color wheel, and then switch to another. I feel like it just gives a really good sort of variety here. A little white. Got some really interesting colors right here where there's a little bit of reflection. I may brush this out a little bit even, but just trying to sort of have a few different things to work with here first. Let's see. This is similar to the sky color. It's kind of a reflection of that. Linseed oil. It's kind of the brightest right up at this edge here. A little bit of purple though. And kind of a shift in between these. Okay. Pretty good start there. Just a little bit. Okay. Just kind of let these different colors blend into each other just a little bit. Not so much over here. This isn't actually watery over here. That looks pretty good. I think a little bit more of this light blue here. Kind of working it out. There we go. And take a little bit more sort of clay color here. Just work that into the area right around. Shadow might be a little bit off in its location, so I may end up moving that over. That's okay. Just gonna set up this kind of wet area first. Okay. That looks pretty nice. Go ahead and mix up some darks for this horse too. gonna take some alizarin, a little Viridian. Probably mix in some of this sort of orange tone, but I was thinking I'd get the sort of darkest purples in first. I think. Try and work these shadows so that I get the right. There we go. Then I want, let's see. It's kind of a nice brown. Let's try that in there. Do most areas except for sort of the brightest highlights with this one. Horses are very pretty. I kind of knew that already, but I'm getting a little extra bit of appreciation through this process. Okay, I don't know if I painted a horse before. I might not have. I've always wanted to. sure if I'm daring enough to try and do the legs with a knife. That might have to be a brush, but we'll see. Sort of working, okay. Just kind of using the brush to move the paint just a little bit so I don't get too thick in some of these areas. I like the idea of it having kind of a similar knife texture, but not being too overdone in that way. Still kind of want it to feel delicate. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna switch to a slightly smaller brush. Go with this filbert and two of these. There it is. Okay. Just gonna keep going with this. I'm really only painting this in like 3 colors. Pretty nice. Okay. I'm gonna have to come in and do a little bit more with the background around him, which I kind of thought I was likely to have to, but if I could have gotten away with it, it would have been nice. Just putting a couple of little highlights in here. A little too much. It's pretty good. Let's see. A little cad red light. A little bit of titanium. Let's see if I can get this a shoulder shape. It's really all just kind of modeling out the form. There we go. It's a little better. Just makes it look like he's turning the right way now. Okay. That's pretty good. A little bit of white. There we go. Oh, it's coming. I know, it's not all knife, but I think for this one, I kind of needed it to be, I needed to get in there a little bit more. I would have regretted not doing it. So, maybe for the next one I'll be able to do it all knife. And paint a horse that's recognizable. Going a little bit thick with a bunch of white here on a couple of spots, just to really pop that highlight out. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm gonna go back into the background a little bit around here, and work that shadow a little bit. It's not quite right now. I think it could be similar to this purple color that I have, but maybe like a little bit more blue. So just grabbed a little phthalo to mix in there. Gonna just try and I can use this to sort of clean up some of my lines too. Kind of wiggle that edge so that it's not too straight. I've got these shadows, but I've got the ground isn't flat here either, so I don't need it to pretend to be. I think that works pretty good. It doesn't. You can get away with a lot with shadows. They don't have to be too accurate. I mean, obviously, the better you can do, the better you can do. But I'm not going to stress about it today. I'll just go a little bit here. Pretty good. Now I want to fix some of this area in here with the legs, and then I'll probably leave our little horse alone. I think it's in pretty good shape overall. It wasn't as tough as I thought it was gonna be. It's kind of nice when it works out like that. It doesn't always. Grab a bit of this unbleached titanium that I was using earlier for a lot of this sort of sandy soil, and just kind of mix up a color that'll match that pretty well. Just scrape off what's on the knife, a little bit of that. A little bit light, and a little yellow ochre to that, and maybe a little bit of this purple actually, just to dull it back, get it a little darker. That looks pretty close. What do we think? I think that's gonna work well. So I'm actually gonna swap to this little knife and just to get right in here. This is kind of the closest way to get right in here. Put that paint down in nice and clear. That worked pretty good. I'm gonna do a little bit right here between the legs. Same idea. Gonna put in a couple of hairs in this. It's pretty good, I think. Yeah, like that. All right. Just getting a little bit more of a highlight on the face here. Should probably put his eye in. That works. I think that'll do. Okay. Okay, and then other place I wanted to just sharpen up a little bit was right above his ear here. Pretty good. A little bit more right here. Just kind of helps him set up from the background. Just makes the image just a little clearer, a little bit more crisp. Go a little bit more white. Nice. It's a nice knife texture there. Going back in over what I had yesterday now. Just sort of gives this ground a little bit more of a rough texture. It's much more appropriate to the sand here, I think. Such great colors. These are really, really fun ones to work with. Okay. I'll do a little bit more with this grass up here. So I'm going to grab a little more Viridian. This is going to be, it's almost like it's a pretty washed out sort of gray-green. I'm going to just throw it on top of that red there. Probably lighten it up, maybe a little bit of this blue. It's easy to think that green is green, but it's almost barely green. I think it would look nice if it was a little bit more crisp. Yeah, that's kind of good. There we go. I love grabbing that texture like that. I had a feeling when I put that in yesterday that was gonna really work well. little both now. Just kind of breaking up that area with some shadows. Wasn't meant to be a plant, but it looked huge. So just trying to keep my shapes a little bit smaller as I go back here. Maybe a little smaller, a little lighter. It's pretty good though. There we go. I like that. I'm going to put another plant in here. A little bit more green. These ones up close, I think, can be a little bit more green. Still knocking them back with a little bit of red, though. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice shadow on that one. Pretty nice. I'm going to try and put in a little bit more, some white highlights in here. Just get that grass feeling a little bit more spiky. At least up close. Being pretty loose with these plants here, just trying to put in some shadows and things, but I think on the whole, those are pretty nice. I think I'm going to do a little bit more with the clouds and then I might be done. We'll see. We will see. Alright, I've got a whole handful of tools. Start cleaning a few of them off. I think I might be good with that one for a little bit. And this one too. I love that about working with knives and oils is you can just wipe them off and then your knives are clean. Brushes, you know, gotta do a little bit more work with brushes, but that's okay. Probably a good time to wash this out. If I do want to use it for my clouds, it won't be all messy. some white into these clouds, I think. Is there anything else? Mostly just white. Favorite cloud knife is this one here. So just make a little bit of space. Just a little bit of linseed oil to go in here. Just gonna start working over some of these areas that I had left white yesterday on purpose because I wanted them to stay pretty strong white, and I didn't want them to mix in too much to the other stuff I had. So but I don't really want to leave them just like background white either. So mostly just filling them in. Kind of grabbing this texture a little bit too, mostly in the clouds that are the furthest forward. A couple of these other bright spots. That really starts to make it pop. It just shows you don't necessarily need to blend your clouds in order to get a good look from them. Sometimes letting them have a lot of different values in them, just a lot of different shapes, can make them look a little bit more alive. These ones in particular, pretty sharp, I think, because there's no humidity in the air, you know, everything is very crisp. And you can see for such a long distance. Pretty nice. I'm going to step back from it for a minute and see if there's anything else I want to change. I think I'm getting pretty close. I think that's pretty nice. I'm going to just grab my brush and just touch this little area there. Really don't want to do too much, but just taking a little extra care in the last minute to make sure that's sort of got a strong finish. think I like it. Let's see. I don't know, maybe there's like more I could do, but I don't know. There's always more I could do. I think it's pretty nice. Let's see. Yeah, I think all I gotta do is sign it, maybe. Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, or whatever you're off to next.